Hey, welcome to another edition of Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. I'm DJ Impact, and I got the Vegas Bad Boys here with me. It's good to see all of you here. Welcome to Wrestling Talk. We got some good things we're going to go over, so welcome everyone that's joining us. Feel free to throw your comments in, and as we see fit, we will put the comments on. We are live every Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 11 Eastern. YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and on Twitch. So we got multiple ways that you can watch us live. And if you can't watch us live, you can always download the podcast. We're pretty much on every platform. So just put in Vegas Bad Boys and we should pop up. All right. So we're going to get right to it, and let's get right into our four-way stop. All right, I'm going to go with you, Sin City. Tell us, man, what is your four-way stop for this week?
Well. Thunder Rosa is the new AEW Women's World Champion after defeating Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, in a steel cage match on AEW Dynamite, St. Patrick's Day Slam. Violent, and it was definitely a polarizing match. I'm sure that, a lot of people will get bent out of shape over the fact, oh yeah, there's another match on Dynamite with blood and weapons and thumbtacks and all that kind of shit. But it really did end up telling a good story. I'm very pleased that there was even a spot in there where, there was a ref bump. They had to open the door to the cage to bring in another ref, and they left the door wide the fuck open. So of course I was thinking in, the standard WWE trope that, yeah, there's going to be outside interference and they're just going to completely fuck the whole match. But they didn't. And they gave Thunder Rosa the clean victory. I'm using finger quotes for those of you listening to the podcast. Elsewhere, so many seeds were planted for Seth Rollins' opponent at WrestleMania. Graves saying after the main event of Raw that all of Seth's hopes and dreams for Mania were dashed following his loss to Owens. And then Jimmy Smith followed that up perfectly by saying that his WrestleMania dream had turned into a nightmare. Yeah. And then obviously we get the news that Cody Rhodes officially signed his WWE deal 14 days ago. So this just all lines up perfectly for Mania. Awesome.
Good stuff, man. Simon Street, man, what you got?
For me also too, much of what Sin City Steve was saying, seeing Thunder Rosa capture the AEW women's title really was good. And I was thinking along the same lines, like this is going to be some fucked up bullshit. But it wasn't. It actually was good. And I enjoyed the match from start to finish. I am not one of those people that don't mind a little blood. Both of those women paid for that match in blood, and I was thoroughly entertained, and I appreciate them. And other things as well, one good match that I think a lot of people, or at least I was really entertained, other people may not think so too, was Cameron Grimes versus Santos Escobar on NXT. Was a really good match. I mean, there was some interference a little later on and whatnot, but I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I enjoyed it thoroughly, and that was for the number one contendership for the NXT North American Championship. Mm-hmm. Those were the two things that, I was, really kind of stood out, other than a couple of things on Raw, which I'll mention later.
Perfect. Matt Michaels.
Yeah, I definitely have to go along with Escobar and Grimes. Thought that was a really decent outing for both of them, without a doubt. The forklift being introduced with Lesnar and the dynasty there, that was pretty sweet. I don't think we've had a spot where they've actually used the forklift to basically incapacitate a truck and then roll it over, seemingly thinking they were still inside, or Brock was just having fun. Along those lines, Charlotte and Ronda, really nice, just kind of mix up there, and should lead to a nice intense match. But the highlight for me on this week of the highlights was Orton throwing Riddle a celebration to show his loyalty and love of him.
Low budget.
Oh, total crap. Everything was, it was like, when you go to someone in your class invites you to their birthday party when you're in grade school, and
In the
instead of
garage.
telling your parents, you just put a bunch of crap together, wrap it up, and give it to them. That's pretty much what it was. And then, of course, when he pulls out the weed, that's when they get interrupted, which was ridiculous. How the hell can you cut off a person from accepting any good weed is beyond me and is a crime.
I'm sure you probably have at least one or two more people on the panel here who would agree with that assessment there.
Yep.
I would tell you this, man. SmackDown opening for me was just solid. Sometimes I often catch myself going, how old am I? Because I jump into this kid manner and all that stuff when Heyman's trying to get Roman's attention, like, hey man, hey, he's here, he's landed. I'm just having a fit, like, oh my God, this shit's about to get crazy. And when they take off out of the ring and run in the back, I'm just like, man, this is crazy. What's about to happen? I go right back into, it's, I don't know. I was questioning myself, hoping I wasn't waking up my family at 6 a.m. in the morning when I was watching it. Some other highlights though. Sin City, give me some sort of credit here, man. The Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Hangman Page versus Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. I actually thought it was a good match. I mean, I'm not a big fan on spots. I'm not a big, and that's all everyone always do. But even if you kind of remove some of the spots, overall, I thought it was a fantastic match to start off. I'll give them credit for that for the week. One last thing I had was the SmackDown Women's Tag Title. Naomi, Sasha, and Rhea and Liv. I thought that right there was really good. Having Carmella and Zelina over there on the side, man, this whole thing is just becoming just insane. And now they introduced Natalya and Shayna, which I'm all for it. I am all for it. I mean, as it before they joined, I'm all like Naomi and Sasha take the belts, but I don't know, man. I might be feeling Natalya and Shayna to go ahead and take it. I don't know, man. We got to see what more they do. But anyway, that's my 4-way stop. Let's jump over. And you know what? Let me make sure I got some people comments on there. Make sure. Oh, okay. Hey, it's got Chris on here. Hey, everybody else who is also commenting, throw it in the chat. We want to see what your thoughts is. What was your highlight of the week? So we can put that in there too. And while you thinking of that, we'll jump right into our next segment, which is the Too Sweet for the week. So start thinking about that and let us know what your Too Sweet is. Let's do it right now. All right. Simon Street, you're going to kick this one off, man. What's your Too Sweet for the week?
Man, my Too Sweet for the week was definitely seeing Owens versus Rollins. That to me was a match that I honestly could have watched another good 10 minutes, maybe. Really good match. We don't, I can't remember in WWE history that stood out in my mind seeing those two go at each other. I just thought it was a friendly match. It was to see who was going to go on to face Stone Cold Steve Austin in whatever capacity match that WWE has not said he will be in, but he will be there at WrestleMania. So I thought it was a good match. It was great. Couple of near falls, and it makes me kind of want to watch them instead of who Stone Cold is going to face. Glad to see him, but not in a match. But that was my Too Sweet for the week.
All right, let's go over to you, Matt Michaels, man. Where's your Too Sweet?
It's very simple. It was finally seeing Rosa get the title. But at the same time, why the fuck did they wrestle on the pay-per-view? This shows the fucking inconsistencies of AEW. Why the fuck did you have that match, which took up space and time and wasn't that interesting on the pay-per-view, to only have what you were going to have in terms of a steel cage match? So it could have fucking, they could have used that time to build it a little bit more in that sense. But it's long overdue. Rosa actually is a good wrestler as compared to Britt. Britt is a good talker, but she's not a good wrestler. She's injury prone as well. So get the title off of her. It's enough. She's a gimmick right now. Let her have the fucking DMD gimmick. And we can see where it goes with that. But at least now you have an actual champion who can fucking match up with people, not just have to have other people do her business for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll jump in this one. The Thunder Rosa match, you guys have already said it, but that definitely made my too sweet as well. It was great to see her finally get that title in her hometown as well. And they kept saying adopted hometown. What's the story with that? Because I don't know. Do y'all know?
She was born in Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I got you. Okay.
And it was on her birthday or the day before birthday, something of that nature. So this is her birthday week. So
Gotcha.
everything lined up.
Perfect. Also, man, you can't have Too Sweet without watching the Bullet Club have their match against Motor City Machine Guns. First off, Alex Kelly and Chris Sabin, talk about guys who just refuse to get owed. I mean, these guys are just moving like they were when they got started. And of course, now watching Chris Bay and Jay White together made for an awesome match. I mean, I'm truly just loving these guys in their matches, and yeah, definitely was a Too Sweet moment for me. Simon Street mentioned it earlier, the Santos Escobar and Cameron Grimes match. That definitely was another Too Sweet moment for me. Loving the ladders and all of that. Man, I was hoping to watch a little bit more of that, but that definitely was something to give some props to. Sin City Steve, man, how about you?
All right, man. So obviously we've talked about that opening segment to SmackDown, but Lesnar, Reigns, Heyman, they all played their roles absolutely perfectly. From the promo to the forklift and SUV stuff, to that truck conveniently parked nearby with the keys in it, ready to go. To Brock ripping the door off of that truck as it was speeding away. It definitely reminded me of an old episode of Raw. So it turned the clock back for me. So, and that's a very good thing. Very, very good stuff. Also, of course, let's be real, guys. All of the tributes that we saw this week to Scott Hall, from the promos to mannerisms to attires, all that kind of stuff. It really was great to see just how much of a legacy Scott Hall had, and obviously made in each person that was on our TV this week. Let's call it what it is too. Pat McAfee is one of the top 5 promos in all of WWE. Unbelievable stuff with he and Theory this week. I think that match is really going to surprise a lot of people. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's going to be the piss break match." No. I think that's going to steal the show at Mania.
Yes.
Also, let's just say this too. In the chat, Bradley has a great comment, and it ties in. He says that he would have liked to have seen Cole get the pin on Adam Page in that 6-man match. I definitely agree. Realistically, if you're going to have Adam Page versus Adam Cole one more time at Battle of the Belts in a couple of weeks, why not have Adam Page, eat the pin? Yeah, you got to do that, man. You have to make the champ look at least a slight bit weak. Otherwise,
are you fucking arguing with Tony Khan's brilliant booking,
dude? Hey. So here's the thing is, if I don't call something out when I see it, then I'm a hypocrite. And I'm not. So there's that. So those would be my Too Sweet for the week.
All right. Perfect there. Let's go right into our WTF. So I'll kick this one off. The one thing there was all right. So start off with AEW during the, I guess, the match with Warlow that he had with what's his name?
Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio, yes. If I can think of it. So after the end of that, you had, I guess, MJF pays off Lambert, but it was almost hard to see because you have the chairman blocking that. I thought we got used to like camera angles where you're supposed to be so you can see what's actually happening. Another thing that happened in that same match wasn't it Paige Van Zandt or whatever her name kissing old boy? You couldn't even get the kiss straight. I'm just like, what's going on, guys? There's a camera. Let's get the right angle. Let's get the right angle on everything. NXT.
You're questioning Tony Khan's fucking camera angle judgment where he's calling in the booth? Come on.
I know. For NXT, so Toxic Attraction just decided to just leave their belts hanging. They were just hanging there.
Yeah, they can't bathe with them.
Okay. It was just like, come on, guys. At least go in the locker room, sneak in and grab them. But they were just hanging, just hanging in the back. And it just made no sense. I mean, come on, guys. Put a little bit more thought into that. All right. In the last one, Moose has to now sign the contract, which he had to sign by the end of the show so he can fight the match I'm waiting to see with Josh Alexander. He goes to Josh Alexander's house, rings the ring doorbell, and Josh Alexander's wife opens the door. Opens the door. She's like scared. The kid is hanging on to her leg. Why would you? Okay, that's my WTF for the week. Let me go over next.
Wait. Are you saying she shouldn't have opened the door for a big black man outside her house?
Yeah, man. Is that what you're saying?
In Canada?
Don't they still leave the doors open?
Hey, wait. Let me see if I can get this right.
Okay.
Impact, are you criticizing Impact Wrestling cinematography and logic?
Wow.
Listen, man, I'm just like, come on. Maybe let her come out of the car going up to her house and he just kind of approaches. I mean,
oh, that's good. Just have Moose go after the girl coming out of her car.
No, I said she's maybe getting out of her car in her driveway, going up to her door, and maybe from that point he approaches her. But
at least he did it on a ring camera. The way you've got it planned out does not sound very good at all for a tall, black African-American approaching a small, little, petite Asian woman in the middle of nowhere, Canada.
You know what's so weird about this whole conversation? I don't know if we're talking about wrestling or we're talking about like a scene of a crime and a deposition before court. I mean, what the hell are we talking about?
I'm not even looking at it in terms of just race. In terms of, I'm just looking at it in terms of the last time these two have saw each other in the ring was what Moose did to her husband in that ring, which was just fucked up. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about the race aspect. I mean, if you want to go there, you can. I'm just saying the way they left that last match, I wouldn't have just be letting someone in, is all I'm saying. We got to keep going, though. Simon Street, I'm going to let you go. What is your WTF for the week?
Damn, all that Raw on NXT. It's shit, man. I mean, there was a lot of fucking Raw. You had Miz TV. I mean, we already got Dolph Ziggler. I'm like, then we got Rey Mysterio and his little son. I was like, fuck, man, it's just a lot going on. But, I get it. There's reasons behind that. Ray's going to pop up on all shows. He was supposed to pop up on our show just to be able to plug in WWE 2K22. So I get why he's on there. Dominic's on there. Did we hear Dominic say the reason why he came to NXT? Is it overshadowed that maybe you're going to stay in NXT and your dad's dropping you off to school so you can go back to school and he can go off and do – because that would be amazing. Boy, needs some seasoning. That's just me. No disrespect. If I run into y'all in Dallas, I'm going to tell you the same thing. Bro, you're destined for greatness, but you got to go to school, brother. So outside of all of that, Miz TV, that was fun. Kind of seeing that on there on NXT. That's why I said, what the fuck? I mean, it was a lot. Are we going to see this most of the time? But there you go. What the fuck?
All right. Matt Michaels, what was your WTF? On and let us have.
What the fuck goes out to Rampage? for being probably the worst fucking show on television, period. So let's start off with Statlander. What the fuck? Is she a heel? Is she a face? She's
an alien.
The heel? What the fuck is going on?
She was an alien, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. In fact, they had to go out of their way to say, boy, she looks different. Like, fuck you. Dan Lambert, this co-champion bullshit, fucking stop. Just fucking stupid. They booked themselves in a corner with that fucking second belt. You know what? Just fucking throw it off the bridge or something. Have one of the guys just fucking do that. If you want to get a kick and realize that you might run better than a pro wrestler, watch Matt Hardy run down to ring. He looks like he's 80 fucking years old. It's ridiculous. It's so bad. That man needs to fucking stop. Like, have the fucking retirement match, guys. Get it over with.
Have his brother retire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, have Jeff take him out. That'd be fucking perfect. The Death Triangle. Apparently Little Red Riding Hood is part of the group. So what the fuck is up with that bullshit? Seems like they're pumping in crowd noise too, which is a pet peeve of mine, both companies. And speaking of both companies, picture in picture. Why the fuck does it go to full commercial halfway through picture in picture? Dumbest fucking thing ever. But really, it comes down to this. A fucking boombox? You used a fucking boombox on Keith Lee and it hurt him. It hurt him, but it did not break. And it was the worst looking shots that anyone has ever fucking given. So, you know what? Fuck off, Rampage. Get canceled already. Or maybe replace Ring of Honor and put them in Rampage's circle. And then Tony Khan can keep jerking himself off. But now apparently this week, he said he's going to be at both shows WrestleMania weekend on the same night pulling a Rick Rude. So congratulations, Tony Khan, for kissing your own asshole.
Oh my goodness. All right.
What the fuck?
Sin City. Let him have it.
All right. So I have to preface this by saying the match itself was arguably one of the better matches all week. Okay. I'm giving the Rhea and Liv versus Sasha and Naomi match a what the fuck for the finish. WWE, you do this so fucking often. You give us a banger of a match, and then you give an absolute dog shit finish to that match. Now, I realize that it allowed them to put another team that I guess they're together now into that four-way, or into that, triple threat to make it a four-way, whatever. But seriously, that match was fucking awesome. And that ending completely soured it for me. What the fuck? Also, FTR relegated to strictly backstage segments. Last week, they fired Tully Blanchard. Rightfully, we talked about that and gave them a bunch of shit for the usage of them in that segment. Right. This week, they're in another rushed backstage segment, this time with the Young Bucks, dropping hints that they're going to be managed by Bret the Hitman Hart. Don't get it wrong. I would love to see that happen if it happens. Mm-hmm. However, they're amazing wrestlers. They are the reason why they were brought in was not for their promo work, but for their in-ring ability. Use them for that. What the fuck? And then last but not least, Cora Jade playing the role of Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. Simon Street, you talked about the title belts just being out there, for the taking. Yeah, definitely. Now, keep in mind, she stole the titles. She is a thief. And then she tortured the members of Toxic Attraction. Keep in mind, she is a babyface. And then lastly, I know I'm going over, but whatever. Lastly, this what the fuck is for the people that are criticizing AEW for the women's match for using, quote unquote, fake thumbtacks. There was a large segment of the wrestling Twitter population that said that they were using fake thumbtacks in that match or gimmick thumbtacks. Mm-hmm. What the fuck, guys? Like, no, I don't know how fucking stupid you have to be. They were not gimmick thumbtacks.
Yeah, she might not be able to wrestle, but she can definitely take a bump on thumbtacks. So I'll agree with you.
Or, better yet, JR asked a very good question. Why is thumbtacks under the ring anyways?
Well, they were put there obviously by Rebel and Jamie Hayter.
Apparently.
Why was the steel cage giving so much room around the ring that you can get underneath the ring to get things out? That's the next question. That's called Hell in a Cell, but Tony Khan fought it first.
And by the way, why does the cage has its own theme music as well?
Why does it have that in WWE as well? Both companies do that shit.
No, it's always had it in WWE.
For the lowering of the cage.
Yeah, it's always.
Yeah, I'm just saying hey, you can be different. Just play your intro and drop the cage down. Let's go. But not to have its own separate music. What are you, Cody? Now you're gonna have a few different interests and themes.
No,
come on.
Like they probably noticed that it was done on WWE and they picked it up because everybody loves the way that WWE does absolutely everything.
All right, let's get right.
Oh, Tony Khan just signed a steel cage from the WWE, so you got that to look forward to.
Perfect.
Oh man, well, let's get right into our next one, which is what are we looking out for? So let's get right into it. All right, City Man, what you looking out for?
So I'm looking out for the you did mention Rampage and you talked a lot of shit about it, Michaels, but one good thing did come out of Rampage this week, that being a possible alliance between Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee. I'm down for it. I bring that on. I think that you can roll your eyes and
that's the last thing they
need
in AEW.
What's that?
Another fucking alliance and team in AEW.
Have you ever watched New Japan? Just out of curiosity, everybody's in a fucking faction there. So
very true.
Yeah. Elsewhere, Wheeler Yuta getting the slap of honor, according to the AEW YouTube, from William Regal. And what did he do after their match? Obviously, he got right back in William Regal's face, which is exactly what Regal said that he would want them to do. So, do we have the first addition to that group, or is Wheeler Yuta going to slowly be working himself into interacting more with that group? Keep in mind, his name was dropped from the very beginning as being a possible member to that group. So if they do that and they do bring him along, I am totally up for that. Speaking of that, the Jericho Appreciation Society and this Danielson Moxley group, they've got to meet somewhere down the road, right? Because keep in mind, the JAS are sports entertainers. They got off on saying that a bunch of times. They said that they were sports entertainers and they beat up pro wrestlers. And it just so happened that the Moxley and Danielson group, they emphasized that they were the best pro wrestlers. So I think that long-term storytelling says that we're going to get a clash between those groups once they get founded and fully aligned. And not to mention the new names for 2.0, Daddy Magic Matt Menard and Jeff Parker is now Cool Hand Angelo Parker. I would have loved it if they would have changed their names though to being Lee Matthews and Parker Jeffries or something to that effect. Just to go back into the old school WWE renaming of people, like what they did with Daniel Bryan from Bryan Danielson. But yeah.
All right. Matt Michaels, you go.
Well, a couple of exciting things going into WrestleMania. Looks like Becky and Bianca might be set up for a hair versus hair match, which could be very, very interesting. We haven't seen a good female head shaving for a while. Then along those same lines, it looks like Sammy and Knoxville, an anything goes match So something is going to give there, and we'll see what the fuck happens there. But Johnny Knoxville is coming off as another strong, celebrity who gets it. And that's one of the important things with the celebrities. They have to understand it. Almost. I think he'll be challenging the winner of the Universal Championship within the year. He's on a rise, and you need a big guy to go against, one of those guys eventually. So I think that's where you'll see him in about a year, within the year. Aziz, you'll see him in ROH by the fall. So that's good for him. Overall, I'd say you have to be on the lookout for the anticipation of Cody Rhodes and the utter backlash that fans are going to have because it was not what they thought it was going to be, or they're sick of seeing him. Either way, the guy's not going to win this. He's in a bad position. So hopefully he did do what, was told to him. And that is get paid, get the money, get paid.
Right.
So good for him.
Secure that bag.
Secure the bag. Mania is actually really getting me excited as we just get closer and closer. I'm really just looking forward to the match with Edge and AJ Styles. Edge, again, he came out. This time they added some music to it, and I loved it. I was like, okay, the production period that WWE has just for its interests, for all their talent, is just superb. And that whoever put that rock piece together for Edge was on point. So
that was Alter Bridge as well.
Okay,
yeah, and that's
the same people that made Metalingus his previous theme.
And this was the song.
Yeah, I kind of could tell.
Gospel.
Yeah, I could kind of tell whenever I was hearing it.
Say that again,
it was a song that was done. It was a song that was done years ago too.
Really?
So it wasn't made specifically for him.
Okay, it just fits. It just fits him. Man.
Well, it's kind of cool because we're good. I mean, let's be honest. We're basically looking at the bucket list of Edge, of everything he wanted to do if he had not have had that injury. I know he had that in the tank at some point. Maybe not what we're seeing now, but somewhere along that line. It's amazing to see. Sorry to interrupt.
No, last thing I'm just really hyped up about as well is the Pat McAfee and Austin Theory. We talked about that a little bit. Man, I just love that. The whole they have the commentary of just Cole going, listen, you're doing the back, bro. You gotta go talk to the boss. Just watching him just kind of get up and just take that stroll, and it's just and then his promo in the ring was just on fire. I'm really beginning to think, I listen, I'm hoping that the main stars is going to show up, because I'm almost thinking these gimmick matches might actually outdo some of these stars, just in the hype, I'm just, it's just one of those things I'm looking out just to see what comes from this. So Simon Street, what you got, man?
Well, for me, definitely, I'm looking forward to Seth Rollins and who he's going to be facing. We know it's pretty much going to be Cody Rhodes at this point. So that's interesting. I'm just wondering how they're going to package it up. Because even if, let's say, Cody Rhodes never went to Tony Khan and with the rest of them and develop AEW, this is a match that I wouldn't mind seeing if we take out the fact of what Cody Rhodes looked like, a.k.a. Stardust, before he left WWE. Cody Rhodes is a tremendous competitor. I've always found him to be very exciting when he was in the WWE, and someone of Seth Rollins, just that match in general will be interesting. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I'm definitely itching to, sit down in my seat, have whatever beer I'm going to be drinking and whatever food Impact's going to share with me so we can watch this match.
You guys going to share the large popcorn?
Yeah, we're going to share the large popcorn, but it's sitting on his lap.
Oh, God. I hope when Cody comes out, It's broken pieces of the Triple H throne chair, and he's putting it back together. So he's just putting back those pieces.
They're gonna put him as super glue and put and have him in a cape and shit, right?
All he has to do is blow up a mound of cocaine, and it will be fine. We get it.
So real quick, I have this question, and Sin City Steve, you might be able to answer this. Does Cody own the rights to his music?
Yes.
So
incidentally, it was done by Downstate, who did the Miz's theme and also Dolph Ziggler's theme. So they have a good working relationship with WWE.
There you go. Do you think he's going to come out to his own music? I mean, that would make much sense. I mean, shit, you a businessman, man, Cody. Come out to your own music, get paid. So.
Yeah. Well, cool. Our last segment is going to be Best in Show, but we want to let everyone know who is watching us right now that our 3 count is up next, and we have 3 good topics we're going to be talking about. The scroll underneath is showing you what those topics will be. So make sure that when this show ends, you jump right back on to our next live feed. Again, YouTube, Twitch, and on Facebook Live, and we will get within those topics. So with that, Best in Show, let's do it now. So Best in Show for me, I make it real simple. It was just SmackDown from the beginning to the end. I just enjoyed the show. I mean, the programming on that, you can tell the big boys behind that channel, just because you just see just how great the show is from top to bottom. Even last week when Roman wasn't on the show, and I told you, if I ever go to a SmackDown and they tell me Roman's not on the show, I'm demanding a refund. But still, even with that, the show was really good. Without not having them on there. So, this week's for sure. This past week was SmackDown. How about for you, Simon Street, man? Best in Show.
Best in Show was definitely for me SmackDown, but I gotta say, for them to get my Best in Show this week, they had some stiff competition, at least in my opinion. You had St. Patrick's Slam event that was for AEW that kept me pretty glued to the TV. I was going to go in to watch the women's and kept watching for other matches. But, I got to be honest with you. It was really, really good. I got to give it to them. They did an excellent job just in general from start to finish. SmackDown did great. I mean, like you said, Impact, a couple of the matches that I really stayed tuned was one that, was What the Fuck from Sin City Steve was that 3-way tag for the tag team, women's tag team to see who goes up next. And then also too, having the surprise show with Shayna Baszler and Natalya. Natalya looking real good. I like to see what's going to be happening for WrestleMania. And SmackDown is doing it. They're getting me more excited week after week. So there you go.
No doubt. All right, Sin City, man. What's your Best in Show this week?
So Best in Show this week it was really difficult because there was a lot of really good wrestling on this week. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's 1A, 1B. 1A is AEW Dynamite, St. Patrick's Day Slam. 1B is SmackDown. I can't label them 1-2 because they were both just amazing quality shows. AEW gets the tiebreaker for a couple of different reasons, but yeah, SmackDown, solid show.
All right, Matt Michaels.
Well, the first things first, and that is seeing the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. They have a segment where it's an audience suggestion box, and one of the suggestions was to see Seth Rollins give a curb stomp to a leprechaun on St. Patrick's Day, and that was fucking phenomenal. That was great. It was wonderful. So go and check that out on YouTube. And the other thing would be all the fans and all the talent throughout the world who shared everything regarding Scott Hall and their memories and their feelings for him. It turned out to be the highest activity in terms of searches, um, out of any wrestler who's passed, and that includes Macho Man and Warrior and Piper, who are pretty much three of the most marquee names within the last decade to pass away. So, if that's any indication of the love that the guy had, hopefully he knew just a little bit that that he was that much beloved in the circle of wrestling fans and talent themselves.
Well, I tell you, social media just it just blew up, man. When we heard about that announcement, and you were just seeing, for everybody that was posting, there was hundreds of or even thousands of people that was liking or responding to several people just posting about what Scott Hall meant to them. And so the outpouring love was definitely great to see. And we may talk a little bit about it more on the ending of our 3 count, but we want to thank everyone for listening to our wrestling talk. Again, we're get ready for 3 counts. Make sure you're following us. That's the best way to do it. Follow us on our YouTube Live, Facebook Live, or Twitch channels, and then from that point, you should get the notifications when the feed jumps on, and then there it is. And most importantly, throw your comments in, and we will try to get it in as we can. All right. So with that, no matter if you're watching us live or listening to us on the streaming apps, we thank you for listening. All right, we'll catch you next time.